We are the one, the light in the dark. One heart, one world, one spark. We are the one, together we rise. One dream, one voice, one sky. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Women Empowered Across the World. And this is our podcast. And these are my hosts today, Raksha from Miami. And she has a book coming out soon. Got to check it out. And then we have Alina from Poland, and she is serving so many places in Africa. You want to know about her Yorgis Foundation. And then we have Jackie, who runs GEN, Global Impact Network, and she resides in Arizona, but oh my gosh, she's global. And I'm Carol Witt, and I'm the founder and the director for YEA Global. We're in 77 countries now, and we teach mindset. It's the biggest deal. And we have an amazing guest. We always have amazing guests. And thank you to Jackie today for inviting Kari. And is it Hagensmith?
It is.
Okay, awesome. And Kari, come and join us and share your amazing story.
Thank you so much. Listening to so many of the women you've had on the podcast, I'm very impressed with whom you've interviewed and their point of view. It's been great, and thinking how my story could fit in was fun, actually. Growing up or being born in the 50s and growing up in the 60s, I sort of had that Donna Reed, Leave It to Beaver mom, right? And how, but the problem is I also had Gloria Steinem in my ear. So that made for quite a clash in growing up. It, which was good, which was right. How do I fit that in with this? And what I saw, my mom living and my mom and dad, I mean, I had two cute parents who were married until my dad died. I lived behind a white picket fence and literally in Santa Clara, California. And I have to tell you, I got bored. As you don't know you're blessed until you come back and look at it later, right? All you think is, this isn't fun. I mean, we're boring here. It's the same old stuff. And I wanted to make pumpernickel out of my life instead of that white bread. So the interesting part of that was I had studied, New York. I wanted to live in New York. Wow, that'd be so fun because it was nothing like where I was to me, right? And I ended up being fascinated by the clothing business. I went to community college and went for the clothing business. And I thought, oh, this is interesting. I loved fabric and all of that. So I ended up talking my way into the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising. I didn't have the money to go. I just went in, plopped down on a chair, and I said, so I'm going to make a great graduate. How are we going to get me there? And they did. And I graduated from Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising in Los Angeles. I went to both campuses, San Francisco, LA, because back then they only had 1 year in San Francisco. So in the clothing business, I found it how interesting it was really a man's world. I mean, you have uh, and I should know his name, but from Seinfeld, what's his name's dad, who made the man's ear? He was in the schmata business, and those are all the men that I was meeting. And I was surprised that most of the women, not all in my area, but most of the women were the girlfriends or wives of the men who were hired in that position. So it was really fascinating. I was hired by a man to be his second salesperson, which was really great. But then I was hired by a company that a huge manufacturer, and I found out that I was the first woman they'd ever actually hired for a territory. Huh,
Hmm.
that's interesting. And I thought, it's 1980 or 81, I guess. How can that be, right? Are we still making those inroads? Well, of course, now we are. But I was surprised at the time that, oh, I didn't realize that. And you get to see the communication is different. That's what I find fascinating. And I actually have learned to love it. In I am probably an over talker. So to be with men in a communication is to slow down, be a little more quiet, and listen before I, jump in. And it was interesting for me I wasn't an only child, but my brother was married by the time I was 6. So same thing. And I had all the attention, right? So I loved that part of it. It was really fascinating. I had my showroom at the Apparel Mart in San Francisco, and I had Northern California and Northern Nevada as my territory. So I was driving in 80, 81, 82. I'm driving all over by myself, right? And I was out there with the other salesmen on the road and truckers. So that was about it in the rural areas and so forth. And when I would come home and chat with some of my girlfriends, they would say, "How could you do that?" And I'm thinking, well, how could I not? It's just a mile at a time. It's not the whole area that I have to drive to, right? So that was just my first experience of being the first woman at something. But I I didn't like being a woman because everybody else in the rest of corporate had the power, in my opinion. I belonged back then, and this was, gosh, Jackie and I met what 40, I don't know, 35 years ago or something. And there was an organization called 2020 that we wanted 20% legislative, um, elective, and judicial positions, just 20% women. That's all we were looking for in all of those areas. That's what 2020 meant. 20% by 2020. We're now in 25. That hasn't happened yet in America. It has not happened yet. So that seems amazing to me that we just thought, sure, it's going to happen. That's not the way things worked, right? So what I found in having become an outside salesperson in the clothing industry was that sales was truly the great equalizer, because you could be in charge of yourself, even though I may be working for a company. They're in New York, I'm in California, and they have no idea what I'm doing, and that I'm out there every day, and that I'm making my own appointments, and then you know, driving to my accounts all the time and doing the fashion trade shows and all of that. And it also made it that I could be in charge of how much I earn. That was the key, right? With sales, you really can be in charge of how much you earn, except, and I know you all talk a lot about mindset, and I wish I could remember her name that you had on that said, I kind of left money out of my mindset circle when I was becoming who I'm becoming, right? And she said in her 40s, she went, wait a minute, I should have a money mindset, right? So that becomes really important. And in sales, when I teach sales, I find that with women too, especially, well, not only women, obviously, but I work with women predominantly because we don't always give ourselves permission to make a lot of money or keep it or live with it all the time, right? And so I've learned from my own experience that I've had to grow. I'm still growing that way. And we can take all the courses that we want. We can get fabulous education. But if our mindset is still stuck here, all that we have learned and we try to execute will still end up here. Ouch. So in the course of everything that I've done, one of my best experiences working with Success Motivation Institute. Most people don't even know that name anymore, or Paul J. Meyer, but Zig Ziglar actually used to work for Paul. So that was kind of interesting when I got to meet Zig and his wife, obviously a long time ago, and his daughter, and how much they enjoyed working for Paul. Paul was very big in creating goal setting programs and all of the mindset, but he never wanted to use his name. So that's why people don't know him here in this country. Japan has a Paul J. Meyer Day, but that's different. And I learned quickly how important knowing exactly what I call the end of the movie. What is the end of the movie that you want? So, for instance, I was speaking for the Waterproofing Contractors Association. I was going to head to Las Vegas and bring my roadie. My husband's my best roadie. And so I didn't even know there was a Waterproofing Contractors Association. what do I know about what do I know about them, right? So first thing I do is I go out and interview several people, a couple, obviously a couple men, but a woman that was in the industry as well, and find out where they are in their business, their excitement for their business, about their team, blah blah blah. So I do all of that, and now I have to come up with an end of the movie for this talk. Well, the end of the movie isn't how I'm going to speak. I don't have to learn that. That's not the point. What do you want them to do when you get off stage? That's what you visualize. That's what you act as if, which is what I love that Paul J. Meyer said, act as if. Well, it doesn't mean go out and be pompous and act like you've already got it. That's not the point. Act as if means coming into my office at dark 30, making sure the dog's not here so the dog can't look at me like Scooby-Doo going, Mom, what are you doing? I can stand in my office and act out the end of the movie, speak it loudly so I can hear it. So of course I look like an idiot to anybody else, right? But I said, okay, what do I want them to do when I get off the stage? I want them to flood me at the stage or the bottom of the stage saying, this is amazing. Thank you for reigniting my business. You really made me want to reconnect with my team. I've been in this so long. I just was going through the motions. This is great. What do you want them to say? What are the words? How will they react to you? Will they be smiling? Will they be frustrated? All of the end of the movie. How will that feel? It's a slice in time, and you have to get the slice, right? What's that slice? And here's the reason I bring up my roadie is because we were at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas for this event. And I didn't even know this story until I'm doing another talk. I've been speaking for, I don't know, 40 years. And I'm doing a speaking engagement. And he happened to come to it, which he hardly ever did. And he was at this speaking engagement. I was telling how to do the end of the movie. And he goes, that's exactly what happened. I went, okay, why don't you share it with us, right? And he said, when we were in Las Vegas, he said I got her all set up and I went down the hall right outside the door, fairly much so that I could see when she was finished, right? And so that was perfect, except she never came out and she still didn't come out and she still didn't come out. And so finally, I was winning on this machine. He says, well, finally, I had to give up and just go in and find out what was happening. And he said, I walked in the room, and that's exactly what was happening. They were surrounding her and saying all of these same things that she just told you. And he said, I didn't know she had done that ahead of time because she does it, I guess, in dark in the room. But it is exactly what happened. So many times we are too busy with the how instead of the wow. You know where you are now, if we admit it to ourselves, which is also, we have a bit of a challenge with that with ourselves sometimes, right? And then we get caught up in how. I got to make the steps. I got to figure out what this little goal is that I can make the steps to. But if we know what the huge wow is for us and keep that in our mind, that wow, that end of the movie will drive us, absolutely drive us. And that's what I get excited about sharing. I did it with a woman who was in a direct selling business and she wanted to achieve, she was one of my clients at the time, she wanted to achieve a particular pin level. Wonderful. And I said, what will happen when that occurs? And she goes, oh, I'll make more money. I'll do this. No, no, no. I want to know that day. What day will you know that you've actually achieved that? And she says, oh, I think it'll be, like December 31st. Her goal was the end of the year. And I said, and what will actually happen? And she goes, well, actually, it won't happen then because I'll have to count all the numbers. It'll probably be January, whatever. And I said, and where will you be? She said, where will I be? I said, well, will you be out and about? Will you be with your husband? Will you be in bed having breakfast served to you, breakfast in bed because you're about to what? She goes, I'll guess I'll get a call from this woman in my team. She's going to call me. Awesome. Now we've got her end of the movie. And she played it out every day. She'd get up and go, this is a lovely flower on my tray. I am loving having this breakfast served to me. Hello? I did. Yay. And so She practiced that over and it did come to pass, actually greater than she thought. Uh, the challenge is we're so busy looking at our toes instead of looking up to see where we're going, right? And that's why I love listening to Dr. Benjamin Hardy, about scaling. His is all about, you want to double in the next year, bless you, go forward. You want to make, instead of 1 million, you want your business to be 15 million in 3 months. Now let's go. Because it cuts out all of the junk that we think we're supposed to do, those little steps that our little feet can take, instead of, wait a minute, if I'm going to grow big, who should I be looking at? Wait a minute, I could be looking at a company who could hire me for all of this and pay me big money instead of trying to get onesies and twosies into my coaching program, my whatever I'm selling, whatever I'm doing, right? And that's why I love the end of the movie, because if we figure out exactly what we want the end of the movie to look like, and we go, wait, that's not big enough. Wait, I have to make it grand. Okay. Now what would I do to be there? Not get there, be there. Because we all know the person that sets a goal is not the person who achieves it. Right. So that's why I love sales and I love teaching women how to be in sales. But the first thing we have to do is make sure your mind is open to making the money that you could make if you did it all right. So I don't know where my time is because I can.
Okay, well, you have 2 minutes.
Super. Um, I also am fascinated by how we got here as women, and thinking about the women that came before us in our own family, in our history in a country, and our history in the world of women. It's actually quite interesting if we don't give presentism to those women. We look at them for the world they lived in and how they contributed to the world we live in now. It's very different when we try to presentize what their story was. Well, why did they do this? Well, what? Because we didn't. We had a phone on the wall. It's not the same. So that's the one thing I love to talk about with other women.
Oof.
Where'd you come from? How'd you get here?
That's why this podcast.
Right?
Absolutely. Women's stories are so powerful, and they actually don't even know they're so powerful. And that's why we gave them this platform, is
Love
so they can really honestly experience their, we can experience their life, they can experience their life in a whole new way, an empowered way. So, Kari, so amazing. I love, love, love that you teach, that they are motivated by the end of their story, that their mindset is about the end of where they're going, then all the pieces that you have to do to get there. I love that. Wow.
And I have to
Um,
say, the other reason for that, I'm sorry, Carol, but I just realized the biggest reason for that is your reticular activating system goes to work finding all the resources and seeing all the resources. I'm not going to say even finding them,
yeah.
because they've been passing our eyes and ears and coming into our lives, and we haven't been taking advantage. Have you ever passed up an opportunity? Well, we look back and we go, a lot of them. But did we recognize them as an opportunity at the time? No, because our vision wasn't complete or far enough or whatever that might be. So that's the one thing that I think we forget. The reason is because all that, it's not, yes, we manifest some, because I'm totally into that. However, a lot of it is we're starting to recognize the opportunity that's in front of us. Oh, there it is, right?
Oh, one of the things I teach in YEA is declare it so that you can recognize the opportunities that come your way. You've got to declare things in your life. Let people know what you're up to. So when the doors open, you see them as opportunities, not just, oh, that's nice.
Or
So
that
yeah,
would be nice. That's even worse, right?
yeah,
Would
exactly.
be nice, and denying ourselves.
Yeah, yeah. So, okay, well, we have some questions. Jackie, go ahead.
Well, I love the Kari that came. However, there's a Kari that we don't hear about. And that Kari also, besides being really exceptional at debt reduction, she can speak on it in her sleep really well. However, she has a book.
Hmm.
Please share
It's called The
that side,
Girlfriend.
that side of Kari. Okay, please.
It's called The Girlfriend Will, and it's the double entendre of the girlfriend who will do something for you in your will when you are so dearly departed and no longer here to protect your reputation. Because, girls, there are things that not everybody should find that you may have in your home, in your digital life. So this is, and I'm a cheesy rhymer. So the whole book is cheesy rhymes. I only have the Facebook page up right now. We're just about to go into reproduction with it. So I'm very excited about that.
Oh
And
my.
um, it's and I don't know how much to say, but you may have Bob's in your bedside drawer, if you know what that acronym is for. It includes batteries, and maybe your children may know, but they don't really want to know. I mean, they don't want to see the evidence. So your girlfriend is prepared to go in on recon. The deal is, whoever your partner is in life, they say, yes, Mary can come, my very bestie from second grade. Mary can come in and do the recon and kind of sanitize things. Now you guys can have it because frankly, no one should be lingering over my lingerie drawer. Whether you are sexy, stringy, and barely there, it's not viewing fair, right? Or if you dress more for comfort than you do for
I
looks
love it.
and no longer cook, you want to make sure that nobody else is looking. So when your partner says, you're gone and they're in grief, and the cousin you hate comes in and says, oh, I'll help and clean her stuff out, you say, heck no, in your girlfriend that will, in the girlfriend will, and it says, this person will do all of that, not
Oh,
anybody.
I love that. I so
See,
love
Oh
it's a
that.
whole
gosh.
different side of Kari that,
Whole different
we
Right.
side of
got the
Mary.
serious kind,
Oh
but
my
she has a
goodness.
great sense of
I
humor. So,
love it. I love it. Please,
I
Carrie,
love
please put your book, the link to your book in the chat. The chat is open for
except I
everyone.
don't know if it's printed. Is it
Yeah,
printed, Kari?
and not again. The printing is out right now, but I put the name in for you. And
Okay.
my website just came up again for renewal, but it's still a holding place anymore. I used to have it up, but I haven't had it. But it's thegirlfriendwill.com. So I'll just
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yes, please put your information in the chat so I can copy and paste it and put it in the show notes when I put your episode up in YouTube, okay? All right.
Oh
Raksha,
my
she has a
goodness.
question for you. Go ahead, Raksha.
Yeah, I do. I mean, she's so much like me. I don't believe this. I do
Yeah,
not
I
believe
guess
this.
so. Yeah.
The girlfriend will? Yes, I have a girlfriend who's going to do exactly that. And I'm
Um,
going to do it exactly for her too.
yeah,
Whoever goes first.
right. See,
Right.
you do a party together, and you tell each other, you write down everything you're going to do, and then you give each other the book to put in their bookcase, so that it's in their bookcase when you are no longer here and need that. It's in their bookcase, and they bring it to the house and go, this is my job. So
I love it.
That
Oh,
was
love
the
it.
most loveliest thing.
Oh my
Um,
gosh, that is amazing.
you are my Gwen. You
Uh-huh,
are my
uh-huh,
Gwen.
uh-huh,
I
uh-huh.
love it. So, so
Yeah,
great.
I'm sure she could speak
Oh my
just on
goodness.
that to Gwen if you would like to get her to do
Mhm.
that.
I
Yeah.
do. And actually, Gwen came from that.
Yeah.
So 7 years ago, and Carrie, I know that you've seen this documentary that Gwyneth Paltrow did on relationships on Netflix. If you haven't, please
Oh,
do see it,
sure.
and we can connect and have a laugh about it. Um, but that's where Gwen came from.
Love it.
Was this whole documentary about relationships, and I love the way you say the end of the movie. As she was saying that, Carol, what came to my mind was the power of visualization that you
Yeah.
use in your course
Mhm.
and declaration. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is exactly what we've been doing for 4 years,
I know.
is
I
saying
know.
this.
So
So
amazing.
have you ever considered stand up?
Yes, actually, I have had in my mind to do a stand up around the book and Genderational, which is my other, I mean, I have so many websites. So endofthemovie.com is a website, is a URL that's mine. I'm just developing that.
Oh,
And so I have totally wanted to do stand up with the book, though. I think it would be a fantastic, lunch speech for a serious corporation who needs some humor instead of just being, any stand up. It would be about that. So, especially a women's company, it would be a blast to do.
wow. Very,
Uh,
very cool, Kari.
I can't wait to get to know you better. I've already sent you a request on LinkedIn.
So,
So,
Kari, I have a question, and my question is this: mine's always inside of we. I'm hoping that we are having a young audience, a young women's watching us and watching our episodes and learning from us. And my question is this: you know, what would you tell your younger Kari? What would you tell your younger Kari inside of like the best advice, the best that you could give to that younger Kari? What would you share with our younger audience about moving forward in their life?
Honestly, it's that belief. I don't think I was taught belief when I was younger in myself, right? I had some, obviously, or I wouldn't have, made some of the demands on the world that I did, as you have all. But I think more belief. I think, and it's not ego, it's the belief that no matter what the strife may seem, you have an answer. Up until now, I couldn't figure it out. But now I know I can figure it. I've got the answer, is the thing. How many times a day do we say, oh, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do next. I don't know what, I mean, silly things we don't know. Of course we know. Or we have the power to choose.
That's it.
And I don't think I knew as much about the power to choose. I mean, they were
Uh,
still teaching me shorthand and typing in high school.
mm.
So my choices seemed to be that when I would rather have been in woodshop. So, and I do have to tell the story of my last name
We
because
got to
it is
hear it.
Oh
I
yeah,
found, I mean,
that's cool.
36 years ago, I married, I mean, I never wanted to be married, never wanted to have children, or if I did get married, bi-coastal would be fine because I didn't want somebody telling me what to, because I felt like I would allow them, that they would tell me what to do. And what my husband turned around on me, he goes, so you think that's me? Before we got married. And he said, why don't you fight the fight that's in front of you? Because I don't think I'm that fight. And I went, oh, you mean I would be telling myself I have to do whatever I thought you wanted? He goes, I think so. And so when he asked me to marry him 36 years ago, this last month, a few days ago, he said, honey, I'd really like to be the same last name as you. In this very sweet voice. And I said in my good Gloria Steinem voice, how do you want to pull that off? And he said, well, what if we both change our names and I'll make the same commitment you do? So I was good Kari Woldhagen or anyway. So I was a good Norwegian girl, right? So we chopped off the WOLD and I had the Hagen to work with, and I married the former Mark Smith. So he said, I know. What if we make it Smith Hagen? Because then if somebody says it fast, I'll be a Smith again. And I said, that's not funny. So we made it Hagensmith, and our daughter Shelby is the first Hagensmith to be born in the world. So
Oh my gosh, I love that.
it's lovely.
I so love that.
So when
What a
younger
great
women
story.
watch this show, they'll go, well, yeah, we could do that. Well, we did it 36 years ago, and I got to tell you, it wasn't popular then.
I got it. Oh, but
But I found the right guy.
you are a trailblazer, so I'm not
Mm.
surprised.
So's my husband, because he really, I mean, I told you not having children was kind of my MO, but I knew I had the right guy to teach me how to be a parent.
Oh, wow.
Amazing at that.
So
I'm so fortunate.
very, very awesome. We are so thrilled that you came and shared your story with us today. Oh my goodness. I love
Yeah.
your story. I know there's actually more. So, Kari, we're going to invite you back about 6 months from now. Come back and share more of what you are up to and what you are doing. But I know every one of us want to connect with you. So please put your LinkedIn, because we're all in LinkedIn out there. Guys, if
Putting them
you
all in
love,
there.
yeah, put your LinkedIn link in so we can all connect with you. Guys, if you love these episodes, we do them one on Monday and two on Friday. And we have the most amazing guest, and you will be the most amazing guest for us. So please come and share your story with us so that we can share it out and have many women being inspired by it. Please allow this platform to be your voice, a place where your voice is heard. Okay. Guys, please, if you love these episodes, connect to comment on the post and subscribe to our channel and share it with everyone. Your sphere of influence is not mine. Please share it everywhere. And guys, once again, we all deserve to thrive. Let's do it together. Bye, everyone.